Early life and early career. Nikita Khrushchev's journey began in the humble surroundings of a peasant family, where he worked as a metalworker. By 1929, he had transitioned into the realm of Communist Party work, demonstrating his dedication to advancing the ideals of the party. Khrushchev's swift rise from his humble beginnings to a prominent position within the Communist Party marked the beginning of a remarkable political career that would later shape the course of history during the Cold War era. Role in the Second World War. During the Second World War, Nikita Khrushchev played a pivotal role in both military and political spheres, ultimately rising to prominence. He navigated through the chaos of war, demonstrating his leadership abilities and strategic thinking. Khrushchev's efforts in rallying troops, organizing defenses, and making crucial decisions on the battlefield earned him recognition within the Soviet leadership. His experiences during the war laid the groundwork for his future political career and solidified his position as a key figure in Soviet history. The rise to power. Nikita Khrushchev climbed the Soviet ladder by maneuvering through a tumultuous political landscape rife with power struggles and fierce competition. Despite numerous rivals vying for the top spot after Stalin's death, Khrushchev emerged as the Soviet leader through a combination of cunning tactics and strategic alliances. His ability to outmaneuver opponents and win the support of key party officials cemented his position at the pinnacle of Soviet leadership. Khrushchev's rise to power marked a new era in Soviet politics, characterized by his bold policies and ambitious reforms that would shape the course of the Cold War for years to come. Leader of the Soviet Union. Nikita Khrushchev introduced a series of domestic policies aimed at reforming the Soviet Union. He implemented agricultural reforms to increase food production and improve living standards for the people. Khrushchev also initiated industrial reforms to modernize the economy and boost productivity. In a bold move, Khrushchev publicly criticized Stalin's legacy of political repression and brutality, known as the period of Stalinization. He denounced Stalin's cult of personality and attempted to reduce the influence of the secret police. This process became known as de-Stalinization and marked a significant shift in Soviet politics. Khrushchev's efforts to reform and liberalize the Soviet Union faced opposition from hardliners within the Communist Party. Despite facing criticism and resistance, Khrushchev pushed ahead with his reforms, leaving a lasting impact on the country's political landscape. Cold War confrontations. Nikita Khrushchev's leadership during the Cold War was marked by two intense confrontations that brought the world to the brink of nuclear war. In 1961, he was involved in the Berlin Crisis, a tense standoff between the Soviet Union and the Western powers over the status of Berlin. Khrushchev's decision to build the Berlin Wall in response to Western attempts to undermine Soviet influence in the city escalated tensions but ultimately avoided a direct military conflict. The following year, Khrushchev found himself in another high-stakes showdown during the Cuban Missile Crisis. The discovery of Soviet missiles in Cuba, capable of reaching the United States, led to a tense standoff that brought the world closer to nuclear war than ever before. Through intense negotiations with U.S. President John F. Kennedy, Khrushchev eventually agreed to remove the missiles from Cuba in exchange for a commitment from the United States not to invade the island nation. These two incidents showcased Khrushchev's willingness to engage in brinkmanship in pursuit of Soviet interests, while also highlighting his ability to navigate through crisis situations and seek peaceful resolutions. Downfall and legacy. As Khrushchev's policies continued to fail and internal party politics grew more hostile towards him, he was ultimately removed from power in 1964. This marked the end of his reign as leader of the Soviet Union. Khrushchev lived out his remaining years in relative obscurity until his death in 1971. Despite his downfall, his legacy as a key figure in the Cold War era remains significant to this day.